everyone, and welcome to our presentation on hydration. We'll be discussing the proper foundations of hydration and its benefits. Hey, I'm Alex, and I'll be going over the first half of our presentation today. I'm the Director of Wellness here at Linked Fit.
You also got Dane Bartz here. I am the Director of Coaching here at Linked Fit. So I love to do some research on any type of restorative methods that are happening within the industry to increase proper awareness of recovery and regeneration methods.
So, we are launching in November our hydration campaign. So, why are we doing this campaign? Well, one, it sets you up for success. We are giving you a calendar. It's something simple, and it's a chance for you to kind of test out the waters, try something new. Gives you a sense of autonomy. It's healthy. You have positivity going into your daily life. You can now take action because you have an objective or something to work towards. We're going to keep you compliant and accountable by checking off your calendars. And we want to see if you can maintain this. And this gives you a sense of accomplishment. This also gives you new tools and skills to build upon another journey. So we have some fun facts for you today. So the human body is made up of water. So how much water? So men, it makes up about 50 to 60%, and women about 45 to 50%. 2/3 of this is stored in our cells, and interesting enough, our brain is made up of 70 to 75% water. And it's also interesting to see how much of the Earth is covered with water, and that's about 71% of the Earth's surface. So, what does water do in the body? Or, how can it benefit us? So, first and foremost, it's a transporter. It transports nutrients, oxygen, it gets rid of waste products like CO2, and it also brings messages to hormones. And now we need these transporting things to help our muscles move. It's also a dissolver. It's an excellent solvent, but the one thing it does not dissolve is lipids. So what it does do is it takes these insoluble molecules and it surrounds them with protein so they can be transported through the water. And it's also a cleaner. So you think about, you take a shower and clean yourself. It also does the same thing inside your body. So water flushes your kidneys and livers, which these two organs are what help remove toxins from the body. Next, it's also a good lubricator. It lubricates our joints, our digestive system, and we also need it for breathing. We need something called surfactant, which helps ease the surface tension between inhaling and exhaling. Next, it is a padding. It is a big shock absorber between our joints. It's what helps our vertebrae to move without any pain. It also regulates our temperature by sweating, and also by the blood vessels near the skin can also help to relieve some of that water. We also need it for chemical reactions within the body. So, how much water do you need per day? So, on average, if you can take about half of your body weight in ounces. So, for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, you'll need about 75 ounces of water per day. It can go upwards for men to about 128 ounces or 16 cups, and for women about 88 ounces or 11 cups.
All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about hydration and training. So here at Linked Fit, what we love to do, we love to build customized fitness programs to help obviously achieve your goals and to appropriate different types of training methods to get your body in the best shape that it can be for performance and even tactical operations and even just overall general population is trying to lose weight. So hydration obviously has a lot of factors that Alex already talked about, lubricating joints, appropriate for cells, and that's exactly what it does with the body when it is going through a training stimulus. So neural influences, we have to have that cognition and even the motor skills to control our body through these different types of motions. And if we're dehydrated, then all of a sudden these decreases in performance of cognition and motor skills, such as motor control abilities, will start to diminish. So cellular function, when your body gets dehydrated, your cells start to shrink. So what we're trying to do is optimize our hydration status so that we can keep our cells working in an appropriate fashion. Hormonal responses. So there's a lot of literature that shows that cortisol levels are actually getting influenced by the hydration status that happens within athletes and even just overall training periods that take place between weight training, conditioning programs, and all of that. So, of course, when you're going through your different types of training systems and just getting your body to move, your cardiovascular system is in work. So, your blood flow is happening. So, when we actually go through a dehydration status, all of a sudden your heart and everything does not want to work. And we could talk about heart rate variability systems that pretty much won't be appropriate and working at those same amount of time. So muscle contractions, and we'll get a little bit more detail into this here in a couple of slides, but muscle contraction is huge. That is what your body is doing when you're going through a fitness regimen. Your muscles are taking in load, and it obviously has to retaliate by moving against that load to keep your body in motion. So what literature is actually even stating is it's potentially going to prevent injury, because when you are in a dehydrated state, your neural mechanics are starting to be influenced. Your cellular respiration rates are going down a little bit. Your hormone responses aren't necessarily at the most optimal levels that it should be. And then your cardiovascular system isn't working, so your heart isn't pumping as what it should be, and your muscles are dehydrated, so it's not allowing that system. So when all of these are working with each other, proper hydration, we hope that that could potentially lead into an injury not existing in that first place. So of course, when you're going through different types of training, I mean, if you can see in this picture, I'm training one of my clients, and we're doing types of myofascial release systems that we could do. And when your body goes through that type of mechanic, your body gets into a liquefied state. The muscle does itself. So I mean, there's other different forms of training that we need to talk about, such as riding a bike over on that left-hand side. That's a muscle contraction, but in an endurance-based position. And all of a sudden, you got over to the right part of the screen, you got the power blocks and even the barbell that could take place a little bit more on the anaerobic side. So getting that muscular system to get influenced by strength variables and even power adaptations and even strength mechanics as well. So our body needs it through these fitness regimens, and it's appropriate to have proper hydration. So now that we can actually see that skeletal muscle in work. So when a body goes through those contractions, when that muscle fiber goes through those contractions, and even just talking about skeletal muscle in different forms, such as the heart muscle, smooth muscles that take place, we need proper hydration. So when the body actually goes through that mechanic of the contraction, which you can see right here, starting to contract, and then it releases, gets longer, contracts, gets longer, our body needs that hydration, because when our actin filament and myosin heads aren't necessarily working at the appropriate functions because of dehydration, it's all about those sarcomeres actually taking place. So when your body goes through this cellular respiration and muscle contraction, dehydration is not good for the body. We need that proper hydration so that muscle contraction be smooth and efficient without cramping taking place as well. So hydration, what we want you to do within this hydration campaign is be aware of how much water that your body needs and potentially needs to get replaced with, before training, during training, after training. So, why? Why do we have to do replenishment, fluid replenishment before training? So it ensures the body is that it's at equilibrium to handle the upcoming demands of the daily activity and training. So we wanted to mention the daily activity because we want you to stay hydrated throughout the day, not just necessarily right before training. It has to be throughout the whole entire day. So from here, pretty much what we look for within before training replenishment charts, we could see that it's 17 to 20 ounces, 1 to 2 hours before training, or that can equate to about 7 to 10 ounces right before. So during, why do we do hydration or during the middle of our exercise? It's to prevent the dehydration from happening in that first place. So large sips every 10 to 15 minutes, and this can change. I mean, it's not necessarily that everyone's always going to drink about 10 to 15 minutes. You might be going through a higher intensity training exercise that day, and you might be actually sipping that water anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes because it's what you need. And your body, always listen to your body, and that's a big thing that we want to point out in this presentation. So after, replenish all lost fluids. It could be anywhere from 16 to 22 ounces per pound of loss per body weight, and I'll get into this in a little bit more. So the sweat indicator. So the sweat indicator is pretty much what you're going to use after your training. What is that process? What is it going to exist of? And we're going to teach you that. So record the body weight before training. So right when you get into your training session, if you have an opportunity to use a scale, jump on it, see what it's at. Then from there, right when you're done training, when you're done with your cool down, record your body weight again and see what that body weight is after training. How many pounds were lost after training? It could be 5 pounds, it could be 4 pounds, it could be 3.5, it could be 1.5, just depending on exactly what your water weight was at that time and how much that you use. So like I said earlier, 16 to 22 ounces per pound lost. So an example, if a person was lose about 3 pounds, they're going to want to replenish their fluids by 48 to 66 ounces of water.
All right, so we want to take a look at your hydration status. What is your current level of hydration? So one way we can indicate how hydrated we are is actually by looking at our urine. Now, through this chart, you can see very clear urine may indicate overhydrated, and very dark urine may indicate dehydration. We want to be somewhere in the middle there, leaning towards the opposite side more towards the clearer side, I should say. Now, if you do consistently see darker urine, you do want to consult your physician about this. There could be a couple different scenarios that are going on, so we want to keep that always in check. Dehydration. Dane kind of pointed out some things about dehydration earlier. So just some signs and symptoms. We want to look for if you're feeling thirsty, dry skin, mouth or nose, if you have muscle cramping, headaches, nausea, or that dark urine. In severe cases, you may see vomiting, muscle spasms, vision problems, or kidney and liver dysfunctions. Overhydration. Symptoms you may see excessive urination, mental confusion, headaches, feeling tired. In severe cases, you'll also see vomiting and hyponatremia. And hyponatremia is just another fancy word to say low blood sodium. And it can go both ways between overhydration, and dehydration. So just putting it all together now, we want you to become more aware of proper hydration, how the benefits it can be in the body, training and performance, the levels of hydration, and making sure you're aware of those signs and symptoms of over and dehydration. So, some things to take home. We want you to go to our website and you can download our hydration chart, the urine chart, and our hydration campaign calendar. The hydration campaign starts on November 1st and will end on November 30th. Make sure you also check out our Instagram Live and stay accountable with us by texting us, emailing us, or tagging us on Facebook or Instagram.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via social media. Feel free to call us 323-546-5333, or even email us. So you got info@link-fit.com. Check out our website. Again, if you have any questions, we're always here to help you out, and we're always willing to start that conversation and help you out as much as we can. Thank you for watching, and happy hydration.
See you guys.